Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams here on a Friday afternoon. Hope everyone is winding their week down and looking forward to the weekend. So like I mentioned in my last video, I had said that my next video was going to be my SGC order, which happened to come in today. And just wanted to show you guys how amazing this is right now. I shipped these out on March 1st. They received them on March 5th. And as you can see here, 65 to 70 estimated business days, and they're already back in my hands. 19 days to get this order, which in this time of grading is amazing. And I also really lucked out. I got these cards in a day before their price increase, so that saved me a ton of money. And although I assumed everything was $15, and you look here, there was 76 tops here, $10. I thought, oh, maybe the 76 tops are all $10, but they're not. You can see here's some, whoops, that's not 76 tops. Oh well, but like this 57 Ernie Banks, $10. The Justin Verlander, $10. So I have no idea what I missed there. I thought maybe it was based on value of the card, but I looked at the values that I sent in, and that had nothing to do with it. So not complaining, not sure why that was, but that it is. So let's get the bad news out of the way first. And there was only one card that came back altered, and probably 80% of the cards I'm going to show today I picked up from Greg Morris on eBay and have never had any issues getting them graded. I've sent them in before, and out of the 35 cards, this was the only one that came back altered. So this card, bad news on a couple fronts. One, it's a Roberto Clemente, who I love to collect. It's part of my 1956 Topps Hall of Fame set, which after this card I was going to be down to only Mickey Mantle. So now it looks like I'm down to 2. And the seller of this card actually is refunding me this. I just have to send it back. And I bought it in December, so obviously, guys, the price is much different today on this card than it was back then. So that's kind of a bummer too. And I have no idea why this is altered or called altered. The only thing I could find, I knew this when it went in, was like, I don't know if it's a pin mark or a pen mark. It doesn't go all the way through to the back. So I don't know. I don't know why they would think that's altered, but if anything, it makes the card look worse. So I guess we'll send that back and be on the look for 56 Clemente. So the next card, one of the few modern cards I have in here. I think there's only 2 modern cards and 2 non-Hall of Famers, but this one I picked up at my local card shop for $20. Starting to get a few cards of guys who I believe are going to make the Hall of Fame, and get them now before they get into the Hall of Fame, even though Verlander has a ways to go. But thought that was a pretty good deal for $20, and very happy with that grade. And again, for these cards, I'm not really concerned about the grades because these are all for my personal collection, and I'm just happy to have the cards. And this is kind of the ball game that I play in. The field of play is 3s to 7s, and really not even many 7s anymore. I get them slab because I love the way they look. I'm also, if something were to happen to me, my family can at least know what these cards are and compare them. They would have no idea otherwise. Second modern card. Here's why I don't send in cards that I care about the grade. I bought this card, and it was cheap, but I wanted a Mike Piazza in a Mets uniform. I have a card in a Dodgers uniform for my Hall of Fame set. I thought, well, this will get a 9, at worst an 8, and shows that I have no idea what I'm doing, as I explained in my last video, when it comes to anything modern. So if I were to say I'm upset, besides the altar card, this would be the only one as far as a grade. Unfortunately, I sent it in at the cheaper rate. Probably wouldn't even send this card in now because I could probably find a Mike Piazza for less than the price would be at to get it graded. And then the last non-Hall of Fame card I have here is Thurman Munson, and I believe if this guy had lived to play his full, not his full life, but his full time that he would have been a baseball player, that he might have been a Hall of Famer. But as a lot of cards are in this 73 set, there's just some really cool action shots, and just always loved this card, and happy to have it, as I am all of these cards actually. This is for my 1956 Topps set, Hall of Famers, Larry Doby. And surprisingly, finding his Bowman cards, at least in decent shape, were really difficult for me. I didn't expect that. And this card was actually in my collection. I don't remember where I got this from, but I needed a Lou Boudreau in a SGC holder. So, and a 3 is fine. Big fan of these 1950 Bowman cards, and was really reading up on, I'm trying to learn more about these guys, and I knew he was a manager / player, which you can see right here, manager, shortstop. But he actually won the MVP in 1948 as the player manager. And then when he was released, he went to the Red Sox, became a full-time player again, and then became a player manager again. So I don't know if anyone's ever went from managing to playing back to managing, but I found that very interesting. This card here, I'm just excited that it got graded. This one I did take a chance of buying from a random seller that I had never bought from before, and it was online, so I didn't see it in person. But Carl Yastrzemski is the toughest card to get in this 1964 Topps set. It's a high number or short print or something like that. And I got this really cheap compared to what other ones were going for. So I was a little nervous that maybe this one wouldn't come back graded. And it did, obviously. So that's great. This card I love. And I forget who it was. Someone just did a video, I think, on this, either on this card or his 51. And I know Andy from Bowman 53 made a video a few weeks ago on this card, and actually that's what got me interested in it. It's actually bad for me to watch Andy's videos because we like a lot of the same cards, and he'll get something and I'm like, boy, I never really gave that card a lot of consideration. I really like it. But like I said earlier, these 50 Bowmans, they just look so nice. Now this one was shocking in the other way in grade. This was in a box, and I had in the closet somewhere, and there's a big ding down here, and I only got it graded because it's a Pirate and it's a Stars roll. I figured, it'll look nice in here. I thought it would get a 3 or 4. Turns out it got a 6.5. I was not expecting that at all, even though I thought it still looked pretty good, but I thought this ding was really going to get me. And back here as well, I don't know, you guys would know if you put water on those or you rub those off, because I know in some of my 64s you can't see the answer. So that's something else I guess I have to educate myself on. But always glad to add a Hall of Fame Pirate to my collection. I showed this card, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. 5.5. Very happy with that grade. I think I mentioned in the background the wall, I thought it looked like a barn. And, obviously it's probably a outfield wall or bullpen wall or whatever. That card. This card I also had shown you guys, and I had asked you whether I should keep it or not. And the reason being, when I received the card, it had this paper loss, which it did not have in the photo. And I don't think there was one person that told me to send it back, that I should keep it. And I'm really glad I did, because I'm going to display this card and not going to see it. I think some people thought I was going to get a 1 or 2, so glad you're all wrong and got the 4, but very pleased that turned out well. I showed this card too. I think I showed this card when I was outside in the winter smoking a cigar, and I not purposely been getting Roy Campanella's, but it just seems like I'm finding some really nice ones that I just can't resist. And actually picked up another one today, raw, from a card store, so I might be finishing the Campanella run without really even trying to. Another card from my 1956 Topps set, really pleased with how this looks. 1956 Pee Wee Reese in a 5. And then for another card for the 1964 top stand-up, Eddie Matthews. So I only have one card left to finish the Hall of Fame run, and that's Mickey Mantle. So I'm almost done with all these sets. It's just, of course, it has to be Mickey Mantle that I need to finish these sets, and they are not cheap. So we'll see what happens with that. And then my favorite card out of all these that I'm showing, I bought this card on Facebook, and another card that I took a chance on because it was much cheaper than what everything else was going for, but I took the risk, and it came back 2.5, and that's this 1953 Satchel Paige. I think I might have had this on videos before. I don't care if this would have came back a 1 or even, an authentic. I just wanted to have this card in my collection. And I've said in the past, I never thought I was going to have that card in my collection, and I'm going to have to quit saying that because I am getting some of the cards that I never thought I would get. And this is one of them. Satchel Paige is just such an awesome story, and it's such a shame that he didn't get to play, more in the major leagues. He was pretty old by the time he got in, and just didn't get his dues. But that's it, guys. I have a bunch of 1976 tops that I also got graded, but I'm going to save that for another video. So I don't want to bore you with too many of these cards. And like I said, I've got a big card that I'm going to show you in my next video, and I can't wait to show that card off. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, guys.